Hey everybody, this is Christopher Kelly, Managing Producer of Entertainment for NJ.com, joined once again by our food dude, Pete Genovese, who is on an epic quest to find New Jersey's best bar. Pete, how is it going?
Chris. I've discovered that this is no country for old men. I wasn't old when I started this, but I feel about 10 years older. We're exactly halfway through, 29 bars. So today we'll be over 30 out of 60. And as you notice, I've switched hotel rooms. We won't go into that on air, but yeah, no, it's going. We had a great night last night. It was just, I don't know if these nights are getting better or we're just getting more into the rhythm or something or whatever. But yeah, it was a kind of a wild night.
Pete, my understanding is that when you turn up at these bars, they are in anticipation, waiting for your judgment, waiting for your arrival.
Right. I can't. I'm amazed at every place. All the owners are waiting for us. I mean, there was just one bar where the owner wasn't there because he was on vacation in the island somewhere. They're all over their Facebook pages. Telling their patrons, come this night. I've been called the bar guy, the food dude. I've been various names. Pete from NJ.com. So they're totally into it. They announced right as soon as we announced the 60 semifinalists 2 weeks ago. They made the proclamations. We've got one bar made T-shirts with my face on them. Another bar had a big 25-foot banner in a special parking space. I've saved the banner. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but yeah, I'm sure we'll pick up other souvenirs and mementos as we go.
Pete, so what happens when you step inside? I mean, you're greeted. They do some sort of take a hands-off approach and let you do your thing? Do some want to kind of show you around, or?
Well, we asked for, if the owner's there, we definitely want to get a tour. Show us the place, tell us the history, tradition, and it gives Saeed, the photographer, a good kind of sense of what's there. So I definitely, if the owner or the manager's there, we pull them aside. If you have a few minutes, doesn't have to be right now, but just tell us everything you can tell us in the next 5-10 minutes about this bar. And there, we were at the Riverside Inn in Cranford last night. It's called The Dive. Everyone in Cranford knows, it's right along the river there. And the owner, who looked like, he's a big bearded guy. He looked like, I would never guessed him for the owner. He looked like one of the old timers at the bar. Mm-hmm. He's the owner, so he's showing us around. He's taking us into the basement and out back, and it's just so yeah. Again, the owners are so into this.
And what about the patrons? What happens when they find out you're there?
Yeah, well, they'll come. Oh, you that guy? You're that guy going around all the. I want again. Like I said yesterday, if one more person says, "I want your job," I'm going to say, "You can have it." Let me know. I'll follow you around.
That was one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. Let's talk about this because how many times have you heard, "I wish I had your job" so far? I mean, more than a dozen.
Oh yeah, several times a day. Yeah. Whenever I tweet it out, emails, the Instagram, Flickr, all the posts that we're doing on the various social media. Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
And you genuinely have to explain. Well, hold on, this is really a job. This is genuinely work.
I said that again in our story yesterday. I said that was the lead of the story. Like, you think it's not a fun. It's hard. The days are long, and there's a lot of driving. All these bars aren't neatly next to each other. I mean, we're going all over the state, all 21 counties, so it's a lot of driving. And I am allowed to drink because Saeed is our designated driver. I get back at the hotel, I'm wasted, and then you have to get up the next morning and write a story or two before you head out again. And again, last night I think took a toll on me. I really need to run this morning, and that helps. So I'm in a somewhat. I think I'm ready for tonight.
You're ready for tonight. Well, and part of what makes it work is that you're going in there, you're taking this process very seriously. This is a rigorous process. You are,
Yeah, it's just like all the food, showdowns we've done. Best tacos, best mall food, best, all these best pizza. Going back to the Munchmobile, you can't just. You have to sample the food or sample the drink and really spend time. You can't do 15, 20 minutes in a bar. You're not going to do a bar justice. You're not going to be able to talk to enough people, get the history of the place. I mean, you can find out all the stuff online, but there's nothing like getting it, right from the source. And so we spend a minimum hour and a half in each bar. No matter what's happening, if no one's there, we'll still spend that time. There's been people at every bar. But so we'll spend that minimum hour and 15 minutes, and just to get a sense and feel of the place, and order a drink or two, and then move on to the next place.
What any big surprises? Any unexpected things happened in the past week of judging?
How much time do we have? There was, I was, again, last week, last night, we went from well, there's one place in particular, it was the last stop, it was Le Club, or I'm sorry, Le Club, Le Malt, which is a kind of a swanky wine cocktail lounge, minutes from the office, I might point out.
Okay. So
From
noted.
your office in Colonia. And it's a sort of swanky, big plush leather couches, subdued lighting, surrounded by wine bottles. What makes them different? There's really no bar. When you order a drink, waitress comes around, you order a drink, they have this sort of rolling beverage cart. They come to your
Oh, wow.
table or your leather couch and make the drink right there. And the mixologist, Rich, is quite the showman. You know, he's like pointing out what he has, and this is exclusive, and this is rare, and I'm doing this, and you know, so he was, yeah. The drinks the drinks were flowing last night. You know,
Well, no, I hear that, and I hear dollar signs. I hear registered dollar signs ringing. I mean, that sounds like an expensive proposition.
You know, well, it wasn't. We had, you know, I had a few drinks, but I mean, I have to. I mean, that's what they do. So, you know, you can't
But no,
just
I mean, are the cocktails there very unusually more expensive than other places, or?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, they made normal things, but like some of the things he did a mojito. It was more the creative twist, more as opposed to the sort of expensive. You know, every once in a while he would point out that, you know, we're using Balvenie, you know, whiskey, which is a nice Scotch whiskey. But he did a mojito, which was different with Johnny Walker. I mean, who does a mojito with Johnny Walker? That's different. And you know, mint leaves. It was really quite tasty.
Huh. And I assume this whole process is kind of introducing you to a lot of people who really take their drinks seriously, who are really passionate about ingredients, about, you know, experimenting and finding interesting, you know, combinations and rare, you know, types of liquors and things like that.
Absolutely, absolutely, and on the beer side too. You know, these craft bar owners who can't wait to try a new beer and show it to their customers. You know, I did battle. It was Pete versus the Volcano the other night. It's Tiki Bar in Roselle, Lunois. I mean, there's nothing against Roselle, but about the last place I expect to find a Tiki Bar would be Roselle. And so this place Lunois has been around for like since the 70s, and it's like Tiki run amok. You know, it's just all got the palm trees and the waitresses and waiters in the Hawaiian shirts and, you know, plastic umbrellas, and they had a drink called the Volcano, which is sort of light and dark. It comes in this giant bowl, big enough for, they said 2, but it looked like big enough for 5, and they set it on fire at your table, and so it was like Pete versus the Volcano, and I survived.
Who won? Who won?
I think it was a draw. I think it was a draw. I did not finish. There was no way. Yeah, it was huge. I had a few sips. It was, you know, it was just stupid to drink the whole thing. I would have been, you know, on the floor.
So you've been mixing it up, visiting, you know, cocktail bars, you know, neighborhood bars, dive bars. Is there a sort of point of convergence as you're judging these? A thing that kind of unites them all? That you know, is it still that they all sort of have to hit you in the gut in the right way? You know.
Well, as far as separating the contenders from the. Yeah. Again, a lot of this is. I mean, they're tangibles, but a lot of this is just the sense you get. Again, you know, I used this analogy a couple weeks ago in one of the chats. You know, it's like going to a movie. Sometimes you can't, you know, you can see what the acting and the direction and all that, but sometimes, you know, that emotional impact the movie makes on you. And so here too, you know, it's an emotional thing. It's a sensory, you know, just what you're hearing, seeing, observing. You know, again, I'm not doing a score sheet. We're not checking out 1 to 10, rating bars that way. But I have in my mind, like I said, we've done almost 30 bars right now. You know, there's some have separated from the pack. You know, whether they're still going to stay ahead as we go along in the next week or so, who knows? But you can tell, you know, some bars have just been better at what they do than the others in that you know, that type bar, that neighborhood bar, dive bar, whatever it is, the wine bar. You know, some you could just tell just by going there. You know, maybe it's not apparent right away, but after a half hour, you just know, you know, either the wine guy or woman expert knows their collection better, or they have a better, you know, better far-ranging collection. I mean, you know, you can sort of make this a little separation there.
Right.
I think it's. I'm not saying it's easy. It's still going to be impossible to pick 10, but someone has to do it.
So you're halfway there. The judging will continue through February 25th, I think, 26th. Is that right?
I think it's the 26th, the Wednesday. Yeah, we have. We just couldn't stack them any. You know, just stack them any quicker or get done any quicker. But so we have 2 more.
Any places in the next week that you're particularly excited to check out, or?
Besides all of them, well, today we're going to Cape May. So we're doing the Mad Batter, which is in one of the more best known Cape May B&Bs, and then the Seaview Inn, which is sort of this great neighborhood hangout. It's been around forever. And then we're shooting up the Parkway to Summers Point outside Ocean City for another neighborhood bar that's been around forever. So the whole time, I mean, every day I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, yesterday, I'm not necessarily I'm more of a beer than wine guy, but we had two of the places yesterday were wine bars, and I enjoyed them tremendously. I'm getting this wine education. I can become the wine guy in a couple of months, maybe. But we went to one place. Yeah, I'll tell a real quick story. Went to the Pluckerman Inn in northern Somerset County. It used to be this, people who know the Pluckerman Inn, it used to be this grungy biker hangout. And so the owners bought it about 10 years ago, tore the place down, rebuilt it. It's sort of this colonial motif decor. Driving by it, you think, oh, this looks like 100 years old. But actually, the building's only 10 years old. They did a great job sort of fixing up. But what they have 45,000 bottles of wine. Apparently, the second biggest collection in the state. There's a bar up in North Jersey that has more. But they showed me, so that the wine expert, Brian, who's their wine guy, he was just really knew his stuff. I mean, I could have spent all night there just talking wine with him. So he took us down into the it's like a 3-story wine cellar. It's pretty impressive, 45,000 bottles.
Wow.
One of it, they bought out the collection of Doris Duke. A lot of people know she was eccentric, a multimillionaire, lived in Hillsborough. They bought out, after she died, they bought out her wine collection, and there are several bottles there that you can have. If you give me your credit card, I will buy one for you. $25,000.
Wow. Well, just put that on your company.
You said it. We have proof here. Okay. We'll go back today.
Well, Pete, you are off for some more judging pretty soon. So have a good week of drinking and judging. Folks can follow the whole journey, the whole quest for NJ's Best Bar on NJ.com. And then we'll be back here, you and I, next week for another update on how the process is going.
Right, and the week after, we announce the 10 lucky finalists.
The 10 finalists. Awesome. All right, well, Pete, until next time, I'm Christopher Kelly for NJ.com. Happy drinking, Pete.
Thanks. Coffee right now.